The Mudbox interface overview. So first of all, we can customize this whole interface the way we want it to be. However, if we go up to Windows, you can see that we have our layout is locked. So we can unlock this and rearrange it any way we like. So we can put our tools and things in our palettes anywhere we want. If at any time we want to reset the layout back to the original, we'd go back to reset layout. So this is good for beginners. Sometimes we move some of our trays and we lose them. We can always reset them back to the beginning. So let's take a look at our views first. First of all, we're in our 3D view up here. So this is our ability then to see things in 3D. So we're in the 3D view. When we go to our UV view, this is where we're seeing what I would say the bearskin rug. All right, so our UV you can think as our bare skin on our bear, and we can see that in 2D. We can also go to our image browser, and our image browser has all of our listing of our 2D images and textures on our local hard drive or network that we can use. So we can select then various reference images. We can select images for a stencil, images for a brush stamp, things of that nature. I'll go back to my 3D view. Up in the upper right hand corner is my view cube. We can allow different navigation. I can look at it from a top left front corner. I could look at it from the front. So anytime I'm pressing right on the box here, the square box, I am getting that orthographic view right on the right side. If I'm pressing from a corner, I'm getting an isometric view. So I can get these different isometric views. If I pick on the edge, I'm getting halfway between two different orthographic views. And so I can always go back to my home view by clicking on the home icon here, and I can then see. So I'm also holding the mouse or the Alt key down in the mouse, and I can then, using my scroll wheel, I can roll it back and forth to zoom in and out. I can hold the Alt button down in my left mouse button, and I can also, view my view in 3D. So there's multiple ways of viewing, but this is the view cube. It's used for navigating in our 3D view. These are called our trays down here. We have our sculpt tray, our paint tools, curve tools, our posing tools, moving and selecting tools in our trays. Now these can be dragged around, reordered, things can be added, removed, etc. So over here is our stencil trays, our fall off trays, stamp trays, our materials, lighting, camera bookmarks. So these are trays as well. Over here is our properties window. So when I go to pick on a sculpt tool, these are the properties of sculpting. This is how big my sculpt will be. So I can change that either by typing in numbers or dragging the cursor here. And this is the strength, how much strength I'll have. So I'll just put a little sculpting in here. You can see here I can change the strength up high, and you can see then, whoa, we get a lot of sculpting. Okay, so this is my properties windows. It's used in our painting and our sculpting, and a lot of our various tools are in here for whatever we do. So our status bar, and this gives us information about the status of our scene. So it gives me the total polygons. It tells me what is the active level, how many levels we have of subdivisions, if we have any errors and things like that. That's always being displayed down here in here. Our heads up display is automatically in 3D view and allows all of our tool tips and things to work while we're working along in 3D. So I can hover over these and I get my tool tips. The sculpt tool lifts the surface as you stroke. The paint tools, they'll have the tool tip. This paintbrush applies the current color to the model. So these are our tool tips. We can allow our heads up display to work right on the screen here, while we work, so we can go around here and do things like paint. And I can say, oh, I want to paint it red. I can come in here, I have to put a paint layer, fine. And now I can start painting on my model. So we have essentially our pull down menus across the top. We have our layering and our object list and our viewport filters over here, and our properties dialog boxes over here. So this is called our object list here, our layers list, our properties window, our trays down at the bottom, our various views, UV views, 3D views, and our view cube for navigating. So these are the main components of our user interface. We'll learn these things as we go, but these are the main components that can be customized and used to hold all our tools and commands in Mudbox.